Hi, I'm Eamon Crosby from Dublin, and my background to sailing has been racing from quarter tonners, half tonners, three-quarter tonners through the 70s and 80s, 90s. Got involved with Optimus sailing, coaching with my kids, and then back into racing again with a half tonner of my own. And then subsequently I got Jason Kerr to design an IRC boat for me called Voodoo Child. It was his first IRC design, and both my boat and a bigger boat called Air, a 50-footer, were launched at the same time, and we did the Brit Nationals in 2003, and we won both Brit Nationals and Irish Nationals 2003, 2004, and I sailed that boat until 2008. We did a couple of Commodore's Cups round Ireland. We won the Round Ireland, fourth unfortunately to fasten it, and yeah, I sold her to Singapore in 2009, and she was sold through Berthon, and that was the introduction of myself to Berthon. So hence, when it came to looking for a boat, Berthon was my first port of call. Well, to begin with, when the survey was done, Sue Grant gave me the names of 7 different surveyors, and she told me to talk to them all individually rather than just email them, so that I get a feel for who I might want to go with. And I ended up very comfortable with one of the surveyors, who then did a very detailed report. And from that report, obviously following on with sea trials, I sat with Robin, and we went through the list of what was on the survey in great detail, and there was a few extra things which we added to. So it was a very, very detailed analysis on the boat, the age and condition of the boat, and to try and bring her up to a very modern or new standard. And I think the communication that Robin and I had right through from day one was critical to both of us understanding each other, the customer relationship, the client relationship, and actually getting to understand more about the boat, and develop and evolve the work that was required, and which is what happened as we did add and change some things throughout the winter season. And I think that, to me, was probably the most critical aspect. And added to that, the professionalism and the attention to detail was really super, because I've had previous experience where people say, yeah, that's grand, we'll do that job, and you come along a few weeks later and you're on a different page. And in this case, we had none of that whatsoever. There were so many things, from the transformation of the boat from what she was to looking almost like a new boat. In fact, when I brought her back to Dublin, people said, is that a fairly new boat? It looks quite new. People said, is that a new mast? It looks brand new. There's so many aspects which it's very hard to pinpoint any one. Obviously the main areas which are, and I've only just started to sail her, so I'm only getting to know the boat. The main areas are to make sure the standing rigging, the masts, the running rigging, the sails, the engineering side of it are all up to scratch. And I think from an engine point of view, she runs beautifully, and from the mast looks superb, and the whole finish of the boat, the way she was turned out, it looks absolutely fantastic. So I actually cannot really pinpoint any one area. I think overall I'm very, very pleased with the result. I think for me it's the comfort of being able to get into a bed with duvets in a 4-7 rather than wearing a dry suit and eating freeze-dried food. I think that is the biggest transformation for me. From a kit point of view, she seems to have all the attributes. We did sail her from Dublin to Cork last week in a northerly 4-7 gusting 8, 2 up on the boat, and we averaged 9.2 knots for the whole trip, and she handled it very well. Got cold during at night, we put the heating on. We had to turn it off after a while because we got too warm. So I think, I'm more than pleased with the boat, and I'm more than pleased with the work that's been done. Well, the sea trial itself out on the water here was a very brief one, and wasn't very demanding. The delivery back to Dublin wasn't demanding because there was very little wind. However, the trip to Cork was 7 gusting 8, and it rarely went below 4.6 at any stage, and that I think was a good test for the boat, the quality of the boat and the equipment and how it stood up, and we were more than pleased. Oh, I'm heading off around the world. I take her to the Mediterranean next summer, and then thereafter I'm going with the World Ark as far as one of the Pacific Islands. I'm not sure where. I'll probably spend a year in New Zealand, and then my plan is maybe to go to Sydney and then work along the south coast of Australia, work way across to as far as Perth, and then come back again and up to Darwin, and then rejoin another ark, and then come back to the Caribbean. Following that, I'll go on to the east coast of the United States before bringing her back to Europe. So about a 3 to 4 year plan is what I have in mind.